On today's show, we're going to be talking about new versus existing construction. What are the pros and cons of both? And if you're thinking of both, which should you pick? Stay tuned. Good morning, everybody. My name is Peter Toering, and I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker here in Macomb, Michigan. Today, we are talking about new versus existing construction. So maybe you've been thinking about this. You've got a certain budget, and you can say, well, I'm considering both. You've looked at a lot of houses in our area and you said, well, both can fit my needs. What else do I need to know? So let's start with new construction. Obviously, the biggest benefit of new construction, like anything else that you're buying new, is that it's new. So you're going to have a new roof, you're going to have new HVAC, you're going to have new countertops, tile, carpet, hardwood, flooring, bathrooms. All of that is going to be brand new, and no one will have ever lived there before you, which to a lot of people is very appealing. And understandably, you know that you're not going to have maintenance for a long time. You know that you're not going to have any big ticket items coming up. At least that's what you think. And again, it's something that you know how it's taken care of. So my dad always does this with new cars. He says, I buy new cars because I know how they're taken care of. Because he's taking care of them. It makes a lot of sense. The next reason that new construction is awesome is you get to pick a lot of it. So, unless you're buying a fully completed spec build, you're going to have a lot of control over the design elements in your home. You're going to be able to pick the cabinets, the countertops, the tile, the flooring, the carpet, the paint color, and then any upgrades that you might want. That's pretty awesome. So if you are someone who has a very specific want, or maybe your tastes are a little bit harder to find, or maybe you have some tastes that are just not customary to that area, new construction can be really fantastic. Let's talk about a couple of the downsides of new construction. Number one, it can take a little bit longer. Obviously, if your house is to be built, it can take you up to a year. But even if your house is already under construction, it can still take you 180 days or more to be into your home, which is about 3 times as long as it would take you to get into an existing structure. So that's one negative. The other thing is, depending on the builder, some things are not always included. Those things might be appliances, it might be sod, it might be sprinklers, it might be a deck or patio off the back, and landscaping. A lot of those things are not included with new construction. So that is some additional cost that you can face later. Now, let's look at existing construction. The pros here are, number one, obviously it can be less expensive than new construction, like a used anything. And another good benefit of it is a lot of those things may have been done. So I would imagine you're not buying an existing construction that doesn't have sod. It's going to have sprinklers probably. The landscaping is probably already done. Maybe they've put in a pool or a fence or a deck or a patio. Maybe they've finished the basement. So those are a lot of things that they may have incurred cost for, especially if it's still a relatively new home. Those things that seller has incurred cost for that you won't have to. One of the, of course, negatives of an existing or used home is that you don't know how it was taken care of, and you don't always know what condition it's in, especially if the house is really old. Number one, this is a great reason why you should have a home inspection. And number two, it might be worth looking into a warranty or protection plan. So there's definitely pros and cons on both sides. Let's look at this too. There are always going to be different financing and deposit options. So a new construction might require a different financing option or a different deposit than an existing construction would. There's a lot of builders that will require $10,000 or $20,000 in deposits, whereas an existing structure might only require between $1,000 and $3,000 in a deposit. So that's something to look at as well. Also, if you need to have an FHA loan or VA loan, sometimes those things can change with new construction too. Overall, I think that you can really go either way, and it's going to depend on what's best for your family. Maybe the new construction option is the best. Maybe, and another thing too is maybe if you've got the time to wait, new construction on an existing lot is something that you might want to go. Maybe you don't want to live in a subdivision, or you don't want to live in that builder's subdivision, but you still want a new home. You can have that builder come out and build it on your lot that you've picked out. So it might be more expensive, but that's something to look into as well. if you're looking between new and old construction, it's definitely something that we need to sit down and figure out what exactly is your personal situation. So if you have any more questions about this, we'd love to talk to you. As always, please subscribe and follow us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, wherever you happen to find your podcasts. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you next time.